Okay, so inside of North Commerce, so this is an unreleased version, so don't be surprised if you guys don't have this available in yours quite yet. But you'd go into settings and then go to shipping and delivery. And here you would have a single default shipping profile created for you automatically. So the shipping profile is sort of like the parent that holds all of your shipping zones for certain zones, or for um, and all the rates that you'll offer within those zones. So you can imagine like a shipping profile is essentially your office. So like if you have an office in let's say California, and you ship everywhere in the world, then you would just create a single shipping profile that would cover the entire the world. The zone would be your world, the world. So you'd be able to ship everything from there. Um, if you have different fulfillment centers, so for example, I helped build a supplement business, and they ship a lot in the States, and then they ship a lot in Europe, like within France and Belgium and stuff like that. And so we have a fulfillment center here in the United States in Pennsylvania. So I would create a shipping profile for that warehouse in Pennsylvania. And then I would set up the zones for United States and the rates for United States within this profile. And then I would create a separate profile, and I would add that fulfillment center address in France, and then create my shipping zones within Europe there, and then also generate the rates for that particular shipping profile in Europe. So if you have one office, or one fulfillment center, then you essentially only need one shipping profile. But then you can set up different zones within that shipping profile, so you can offer different rates or different shipping speeds based on where a certain customer lives. So that's shipping profiles. Once you have that set up, you can just go into manage here, and here you will be able to customize what products you offer within that shipping profile. So like for example, with that same supplement company in Europe, I may not be able to sell a certain type of supplement in, let's say, France, because certain laws or regulations. And so what I can do was I could remove a specific product that I don't offer in that area, and then just add it or remove it, so then it won't show up for that particular person. So like if someone was to add like Allbirds Gray, and they lived in France, but but that product isn't available in France, then it would just say like unavailable, or there's no shipping options available for your particular country or state or whatever. So once you create I'll delete that. Once you create a shipping profile, then you can create the zones, and in the zones you'll have basically the world. So you could go into North America and add like, okay, I only ship to Canada, Mexico, and the United States. We have all sorts of other sort of like subsets of North America here, these islands and stuff like that. And then if you wanted to add just these three zones, then you would just add those three, and then you could type in like North America there, and then you would add that zone. And then here you would see that the zone is North America with these particular countries in that zone that will be available. So anything outside of here, none of these rates would apply to. Does that make sense so far? Let me know in the chat, or if you guys want to unmute. Okay, perfect. I have no problem with long silences too, so I know it takes a second to type or something like that, so I can wait a minute. So if we wanted to create another shipping zone, we could do that as well. I could even let me see if I can find a good example of like maybe we do South America. I want to find I'm trying to find a good one that has like provinces or something. I guess I'll just use United States as an example. Okay, so imagine you sell a specific product that you only want to ship to certain states. Like, so imagine you live in Arizona or something, and you only want to ship to the Southwest, you live on the East Coast and you can only ship to as far as the Midwest or whatever. Then you can go into that particular shipping zone of the United States and then select or deselect any specific states there. And you could add that to the zone. And then it would update there. So once you're ready to add rates for that particular zone, then you would just click on Add Rates. So this is kind of a bug right here, I know. So let's see if I can, there we go. So you'll be able to set up your own rates. So say you wanted to offer different flat rates for a particular product, then you can set up your own rates like this. So you could give it a name, let's say premium shipping method or something like that. The default value is 0. So if you were to like want to just offer free shipping, then you could do that as well. If you want to offer a flat rate of something like $25, then you could do that as well. And basically what that would look like on the customer side, let me pull this up really quick. Can you guys hear me or no? Harvey's having a hard time. Harvey, you might need to click the gear icon on your user settings in Discord and see what your output's set to. If you're on a computer or your phone. Okay, because I guess I'm explaining it to him and he can't hear me, so it makes no difference. So maybe we'll say like, I'll just say try leaving and reconnecting. Okay. So as far as what this looks like on the customer side, you would add a flat rate, and it would look just like this right here. So you'd have the title of that shipping method, like we have here, or the rate, I mean, and then the price. So that would be right there, and that would be one of the options, or the only option that a customer could choose. So another thing that you can do is add different conditions based on certain criterias. So if you want to set a specific rate based on shipping weight, the price that a customer is spending, the value of the amount of products that they have in their cart, or a specific user role, you can do that as well. Or you can add multiple conditions as well. So if you want to say like, if a product weighs between a pound and 5 pounds, and they have the user role of subscriber or whatever, or contributor, then offer this particular shipping method, and it'll cost $5 or something like that. Or maybe you have a specific role for your users that maybe they're members, or they pay a membership fee or something like that, so they always will get free shipping. You could do that as well, and then you would be able to set all of these conditions, and if they meet any of those conditions, or if they met all of those conditions, then of course you would that's how they would qualify for this particular rate. Any questions so far, or anything, or any like ideas coming to your mind of like, oh wait, if this is perfect, this is exactly what I want, but if it did that or this, that might be even a little better. Let me know in the chat. Or if you guys want to unmute, go ahead too. Okay, perfect.
Sorry, my headphones tripped out. Could you show that one more time?
So if you have, you can set any sort of conditions that you want. So if, so you set up this particular rate and the price for that rate, and if a user it meets any of these conditions or all of the conditions you can set, then they'll qualify for this rate. So maybe you want to offer free shipping to certain types of user roles, then you can do that as well. And then you'd click save, and then you would have that there. And then in the final version, we'll have the conditions showing and any handling fees as well. So let me jump down to handling fees. I'll create a new rate here. So what happens in a lot of cases with fulfillment centers is you will have the label fee to ship the actual product. So like from the carrier, UPS or DHL or whatever, you'll have just like your regular shipping rate. And then when a fulfillment center goes to pick your products, what happens usually is they charge like a pick fee. And so what most stores will do is they'll add a handling fee to the shipping rate. And this is all baked into one price. So there's no two line items or anything like that shows like the rate and then a handling or handling fee or whatever. But you can set either a flat amount or a percentage or both in the handling fee to sort of compensate for what the pick fees would be if you use like a fulfillment center, or if you just want to charge, if you pay an employee or something to fulfill your orders, then you could add a little small percentage or a small little dollar amount to the handling fee to cover those costs. So I'll just add this. Let's just call this one like fulfillment center shipping or something. And then let's say $15. And we can save that. And then we can see that the handling fee is $2, and then the price for this shipping is a flat $15. So this isn't quite done yet. It'll be done this weekend, and then I'll have something to show on Monday. But basically, when you integrate with EasyPost, you'll be able to select different carriers and then have the carrier themselves automatically calculate the rate based on the shipping weight of your product. So let me show you. Yeah, so Jay Young, there will be a ShipStation integration eventually, but my hope is that we'll create a super easy way to manage label creation within North, that you can just do it through there. But I know that different fulfillment centers use ShipStation themselves, or you might just already have been using ShipStation in your kind of workflow already. So we would offer that as well. So I use ShipStation right now for all my orders, and so that's also a great service.
I've got a quick question.
Yeah.
One of the things that I kind of do is I kind of offer it's almost like a shell. So if somebody sends me something, like a shell fee almost. So if I sell something to somebody and they send back their like original product that I'll refurbish, then I'll give them like a percentage back. So sometimes, in WooCommerce, I'll be stuck retyping in or copying and pasting in their address, and then to the as the from address, and then my address as the to address, and then giving them a shipping label that way. Would there be an easy way to ship the to and from addresses to create new shipping labels in North? Does that make sense? Sorry.
Yes, 100%.
Like almost like returns.
Yeah. So returns will be different, but basically, you'll have a default from address, which will be here. So right now this just says United States, but if you would imagine, this right here would be your like your office address, so the from address, and so that value would be by default already added to any sort of label creation, so you wouldn't have to re-add that. If you had, I don't have, let me show you. I'll just go to Figma really quick because I don't have any data in here for the orders. But if you go into, so Brian, would this be an existing order? Or would you have to create a new order for this type of thing? Oh, I guess if you're refurbishing it, they had previously ordered, right? So they would be an existing customer.
Yeah, they'd be an existing customer already.
Okay. So what would happen inside of the orders overview screen? So like this screen right here. So let's just say that this person bought a cotton sweatshirt from you, and you do custom embroidery or something like that. And a stitch sort of messed up, so they want to send it back, and you're gonna offer like a repair service or something like that. What you could do is you'll have already probably created a shipping label in here, so you'll be able to see in the timeline um, that you've created a shipping label. But what will be here is a button that will allow you to create a new shipping label. So this button will be used also for the main use case will be for returns, but I mean in essence you can create a shipping label for any purpose. And so what you would do is you would have all this customer's information already here. You would click on that label creation, and then you would select the carrier and then the service you wanted. So like say, are you from the States, Brian?
Yeah, I'm in Los Angeles.
Okay, so like then imagine you would select the service or the carrier USPS, and then the you know the the first class mail service. You'd click on that label. You would select the service, and then you would just print the label, and then it would just print right out on your printer or like your little Dymo printer or whatever you have, and then all of that information would be there already. So you would confirm that the information is correct, but you wouldn't have to type anything. The only time that you'd have to type anything is if you were to create a brand new order manually, and then you would have to type in the customer's address and their name and email and phone number if they had it.
That's awesome. That's super cool. Appreciate
So
that.
for returns, you would do the same thing. You would generate a label. Instead of printing it, you'd like save it as a PDF and then email it to the customer. We do have a lot of pretty cool ideas for returns that we can talk about later, but I've kind of shared them in the Discord before. Loop returns is a good example of a really really like extensive, innovative return system. So that'd be great. Cool. Good question. The whole idea here is to never like have to worry about setting anything up more than one time. You know what I mean? Like I've never used WooCommerce shipping in my entire life ever because it's just not so easy to get set up. So where I can use ShipStation, I could quickly integrate it and be good and get better rates even.
Oh, really? With ShipStation, you're getting better rates? Because I was getting better rates because I don't do high volume stuff. So like I was getting better rates with WooCommerce, but of course you get the annoying setup, like no way to like switch uh to address and from address, and so that's what I was pretty much saying is that I had to like copy it from my from address to my to address and then to address to the from address.
Yeah, yeah. So I get understand the frustration of that like user experience for sure. Okay, good question. So you would integrate EasyPost. So if you guys wanted to sign up, you could sign up. I can share a link in Discord. But basically, EasyPost is a service that provides discounted shipping rates. You always will get 120,000 packages per year for free. They don't charge any additional fees or anything like that for every label that you print. It's just whatever the carrier charges is what you pay. If you exceed this 120,000 packages per year volume, then you would just talk to their team and set up some sort of varying plan, I guess.
If you're shipping $120,000 a year, you can afford their fees. 120,000 packages a year.
Yeah, so if you're hitting that volume, then you're doing okay, and hopefully you're. I mean, you might be using a fulfillment center by then, or you might have your own. So you got things figured out hopefully at that point. And so it's free to sign up. I'll send you the link to sign up so you guys can kind of be all under our umbrella. So then we can track everyone a little easier and then provide any sort of support. It's not really an affiliate link. Like I don't get like a commission or anything like that. But it's just nice so for them to know and for us to know like how many people are using like North Commerce shipping through EasyPost versus using something like ShipStation or Shippo or or a fulfillment center too. So I can share that link after the call. Cool. So once you add, once you add your EasyPost API keys, which is just a simple copy and paste. I can even show you. It's super easy. I have no problem showing this because I can just revoke the keys anyway, so it's no problem. So basically, you just copy and paste these two keys inside of the integrations area here, and then hit save, and then that's all you have to do. What will happen inside of North Commerce is any product. So let's say I create a new product, and I'll call this one just like non-physical product. So this is maybe this is a digital product I know I'm not going to ship. So I will just, I can add an image, I guess, maybe. I think I have another shoe. No, I don't actually. So let's just go like this. And then I can set the price for this. And I'm not going to check this physical product option here. So I click on save. And then I go into the shipping profile and I refresh. And the product isn't added. So North Commerce will know the difference between a physical product and like a digital product. So you don't like automatically force your customers to pay shipping. And so once you toggle on that, let me find another picture really quick so that we can see the distinction here. But it'll know the difference between that, so then you won't ever have to worry about toggling any sort of, shipping rule or something within the product creation. So I'll add this product image here, and then I'll add a physical product. I'll give it a little weight. I'll just say 5 kilograms. It's pretty big, I guess. And then if I refresh here, then the product shows. So if it has different variations as well, then you'd be able to see the variations and set any rules there. If you'd like to exclude or include any variations, you could do that.
So quick question about, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just had a quick question about, oh my God, I'm blanking. Like downloadable products that come with physical products. Is there any way to do that in North? Like WooCommerce has a built-in.
Yeah, so as of right now, there's no way to link those products, but that would come with the same product bundle feature that we've been talking about as well.
Gotcha. Okay, that works.
You would have like for example, let's say you have you're selling a running shoe, and you wanted to add a digital download or something for like a fitness training or something. Then you would be able to add the digital sort of file or download here, and then the user could either download that or access that via like their my account or like their their login just for your store.
Gotcha,
So
that works just as well. And you could technically have those products hidden on the main page, right? Like the digital products.
Yeah, like you wouldn't even need to necessarily have that as a separate product, even in this particular case. So like you if you wanted to have a digital product and a physical product and then bundle those products, then the bundle feature will work great for that. But but if you wanted to just add the digital file to the product here, and it would just be included in the purchase, then you would have that too.
Yeah.
So like basically,
oh, that's awesome. Perfect.
The line item would basically be like the Allbirds shoe plus a free digital download, and it would just be like the file name.
Boy, thanks.
Good question. A good use case. Any other questions or comments so far about shipping zones, rates, anything like that?
Just have to say it looks really freaking good.
Thank you. I'm so excited. So another thing that we're working on, I do want to. I've been wanting to. I've been meaning to write up some biographies on all the developers. Um, but I wanted to introduce one of the developers if he can talk. Zach, can you unmute and chat? Are you driving or
No, I'm here. I'm
okay?
here.
So I wanted everyone to meet Zach, and so he's one of our developers. He came. We've kind of been talking for the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and so he's agreed to help me with some North Commerce stuff. He is an expert in the WooCommerce world in terms of scaling um, WooCommerce websites, and so he is a huge value add to the North Commerce team. So we're excited to have him. So anything else you want to share, Zach? Something you've been working on, some experiences you've had with other sites and stuff like that.
Well, I've been working on this product page template that's almost done. I was hoping to have it done for today, but didn't quite hit that mark, unfortunately. But we're getting really close to having a working product page in the plugin now. So both through the shortcode and possibly through permalinks.
So this is something that I kind of talked about yesterday, and I had mentioned that we were going to have something this week for the product overview screen. So every time you create a product, you'd be able to preview the product screen, see kind of the images and how it would be laid out with like a hard coded design since the builder was not done. What we ended up doing was sort of like reworking how the so Zach's amazing because like I'm like, let's ship it, man. Let's just get it out there. and and Zach sort of reels me in a little bit in terms of like, no, let's do it right. Let's get everything set up, get all the actions set up, everything we need so that when we do have the the builder, it's just like a one-click integration almost. And so we've taken some extra time to do it right the first time and then not have to refactor anything when the builder's done. And then also like with permalinks and stuff like that, we can auto generate those, and basically we'll make this look a lot cleaner. So let me see if I have a quick little mock-up for this. So we go in here to the product screen, and once you create a new product, it'll generate that template. So this will work the same way when you set up the stuff in the builder. So if you missed last week's call, I showed you a little bit. I showed a little bit about how in the product overview page builder, which would basically you would be able to you'd be able to set sort of conditions based on like product categories or product tags, what that template would look like. So you could have like literally like 100 different product page styles, and it would automatically generate those on the fly. So that's kind of what Zach's like setting everything up for, so that when we set up that with the builder, then we'll have no problems. So let me see where this design is. Down low, maybe. Yeah. So right here, basically, what you'll do, you'll have like a pre made permalink structure here. So like your URL /products, and then the product name will automatically generate here. And then if you'd like to edit that, then you could simply edit that in the input and then just save it. And then you'd be able to click on preview, which looks like this right here. So you just click this little eye to preview, and then you'd be able to see the product overview screen. So that's how that'll work. So I know it's been a little delayed, but I mean we're still working on it, and it'll be better doing it this way than originally planned. Where I'm just like, just ship it, man, let's get it done. But so we're doing it right the first time, which is the better way to do it. And I know it's a little longer, but regardless, it'll be better in the long run. So thanks.
Everyone. Well, and you'll also have a ton of actions that you can hook into if you want to override any of the default templates for any of the parts of the page. So we made it so it's really customizable with code in your theme if you want. You can override these partials in a um, by overriding the action in a functions PHP file in your theme. Um, just trying to make it as easy as possible for you guys to create really really cool stuff.
That's our goal. We've North has always been sort of like at its core, any developer or any no code sort of drag and drop web designer can get a design from a designer or get a scope of work from a client and be like, okay, cool, I can 100% do this in North Commerce because I have all the tools I need to create literally anything I want. And so that's always been the goal. Okay,
So
cool.
it's
Go.
sorry, quick question. It sounds like North is like super customizable in terms of like developer kind of stuff. I'm more of a e-commerce store owner and kind of like self-starter rather than developer. I'd be super interested in, in the future if you guys would do examples of, these awesome things that you could do within your functions.php file or whatever, or script manager or something to get these unique setups that you're talking about. I feel like a lot of us would benefit from, maybe a blog style um, thing on your site where, you go through and you're like, oh, this is what you can do with North with our customizations functionality and stuff like that.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll have we'll definitely have like different training segments and like we'll so what I've always wanted to do. I was going to share this at the end, but I'll share it now. I think it's a perfect segue. Let me find it. I think I have it. Where did I save it?
While you're looking for that, craziest WooCommerce story would be how I got into WooCommerce in the first place. A friend of mine that runs a he runs a clothing and an apparel company that also is a nonprofit that helps injured veterans participate in adaptive sporting events called Oscar Mike. Called me up on Thanksgiving Day telling me that he had been interviewed by Jeff Joniak, the voice of the Chicago Bears, and that he had gotten a few orders on his site and that his site had crashed.
Typical.
Yeah. And in investigating, we found out that the company that set up his server had set it up so that it was running his email server on the same server as the web server.
Oh, wow.
And so the email sending for the new orders, all three of them that sent in WooCommerce with each new order, those were all causing the email spool to fill up. And because of that, it ran the server out of memory. And when the server ran out of memory, obviously PHP crashed, the web server itself crashed, everything went down. And he didn't have the login information to his VPS. So it took nearly 4 hours to get his server back up after this call on Thanksgiving Day. Now, for those of you who are from the upper Midwest, that was back when every Thanksgiving we could count on it being a Bears and Packers game. And that interview aired in the Chicago market to millions of people. So,
how many orders did he end up getting through before it crashed? Do you remember?
11.
Oh my goodness! And then the rest were just like viewing the product screen, and that was it.
Oh no, they weren't even viewing that. They were getting 500s because the server was down.
Oh wow!
That
So before
sucks.
they could even, that is awful.
I hope those people went back later and bought, like, they just understood that there was mass traffic or something.
Some of them did, I'm sure. I wasn't even involved at that point until afterwards, unfortunately. But yeah, that is the craziest WooCommerce story I think that I have as far as why I got started. But I've run WooCommerce stores with hundreds of thousands of products with 3 GB databases. So lots of fun.
That's insane. Imagine having that kind of
So
reach.
I would love to, hear these stories on like a North Commerce blog. Like I think that'd be awesome, because uh, that's where a lot of us kind of want to get to, but have no idea how to make WooCommerce viable up until those points,
Hmm.
because just the databases and all that stuff. Like
Yep,
it can get out of hand pretty quick.
it can. And I'm a member of the team at Do the Woo. So the Do the Woo podcast, I'm one of the co-hosts there. And we're starting a new podcast there that we're recording the first episode of. It's a series within Do the Woo. We're recording the first real episode the end of this month. But it's called Woo Dev Chat, and it's myself, Carl Alexander, the founder of Amir, and Till Cruz, the creator of Redis Object Cache and the Object Cache Pro plugins. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll dive deep into performance and all of that fun stuff there too.
That'll be exciting to listen to. This is why we have Zach on the team, because he knows his stuff, and we want to do all the heavy lifting for you guys. Like in terms of like databases and scaling, and what type of hosting requirements, server requirements did you have? Say again. Deeks, what'd you say? Shoot, I can't hear you anymore. Okay, so to kind of go back to your question or your comment, Brian, about doing like some sort of blog post or something about different customizations or certain things you can do within North. So there'll be a lot that you can do within the builder, and that'll make things super easy if you don't have any coding experience. But what I wanted to create was a website either like this, or to take some of these examples of really really high converting e-commerce sites that are doing things sort of in a unique way, or they have a certain style of product pages or something that converts really really well, and then kind of do a so example, like we go to drink Ditto. Yes, we're over 21. We want to buy their, I guess this is like an alcoholic drink. How do we go here? Buy online. Let's just say we're in New York. Then we would go in here and be like, okay, cool. Like, so here's kind of a breakdown of this particular product page here. Here's why this works and why it doesn't work. And then here's how you can create something like this inside of North Commerce. And so it would be, what we want to do is kind of the series once we release V1 of, hey, here's some really, really successful e-commerce sites. Here's what their product page looks like, or here's what their landing page looks like, or here's how they're converting people, through the cart page or through the checkout page, or maybe they're doing a post-checkout upsell or something. Here's how you can do that in North. And so we would have a series where, whether that's UX and UI for conversions, or whether that's actually just like a cool design style, we would create sort of this cool series inside of North Commerce, like on the blog or on the YouTube or something, that will show you how to create all these cool little things. So that's been an idea I've had. And then once we get everything up and running, then we'll go through these different shops, or like on ecom.design as well, and kind of find some really, really cool e-commerce sites that are doing really well, and then kind of break those down. So I think that'll be really awesome and really helpful for everyone. So you can kind of like, I can't break through like the 2,000 a month mark or the 10,000 a month mark. Like, here's where I'm getting my traffic. Okay, where's your traffic getting hung up on? We can go through that and sort of start to figure out what can help your store. So that's everything that I have for this week's call. we have a lot of really cool things going on internally with the new developers and new features. And so every week we'll continue to update you guys. And now that we're starting to get a good system with everyone, we'll hopefully start releasing weekly updates like to production so that you guys can install the updates and start messing around with them. And so kind of be looking for that. But I'll of course keep you guys updated in Discord throughout the week. And if you have questions, always feel free to message or email me. And I'd love to answer any questions or hear any thoughts or comments you have about features or integrations or whatever. Any last questions or anything like that?
Kind of have one for Zach. It sounds like Zach, you're super entrenched in the Woo space um, and obviously being on the stream ended. Is that normal?
No, that was just the
Okay,
that was just the screen share.
Yeah, so like Zach, you're super entrenched in the Woo space and obviously being a host on a Woo podcast. How are you feeling about North and the future of WooCom or of e-commerce, maybe with alternatives to Woo?
So I'm all for competition in the space because as you know, competition breeds innovation. So that's why I reached out to Kelly pretty much as soon as he announced. And we started talking at that point. I think that there's a lot of room for improvement on the WooCommerce side of things for high performance or high volume stores. And I've been pursuing that since 2017 when I started my former agency. And my agency now focuses on that as well. And if I can build an entire business around helping people run WooCommerce better, there's an issue somewhere with a certain level that you get to where performance becomes an issue, right? So I'm trying to put myself out of business in that regard. I don't want to have to be focused only on these giant performance issues. I want the platform to fix those. When we first started talking about what North Commerce was going to be and what the plans and the goals were, the fact that there was a focus from the beginning on building this the right way, building it differently, and trying to avoid some of the bottlenecks that occur with WooCommerce, specifically in the area of investigating things like custom tables, right? WooCommerce had a big announcement that they're finally 4.5 years after my former company worked with Liquid Web to build the custom order tables plugin. They're finally looking at a way to do that in core. The functionality's been there since 2017 to allow for custom data tables inside WooCommerce, but it's taken until 2022 for them to actually do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I feel about my Woo store too. Is like it just takes way too many add-ons and things to get it to work the way I need it to work, and it should be like core functionality, which is why I kind of, when I saw North, I was like, oh, well, here's like a team that's dedicated to making something that's pretty useful straight out of the box and isn't going to need a whole bunch of customization and additional plugin functionalities and shit like that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that attracted me to wanting to work on the project in the first place, and the fact that that Kelly is so open to feedback and to trying to address the direct needs of all of us is really pretty amazing. This isn't the typical WordPress plugin where there's a vision, it's been cast, and that's what's going to happen no matter what. This is a really open and collaborative process, and that is also a huge differentiator from anybody else who's tried something like this. Um, I think that it really shows Kelly's dedication and the team's dedication to making sure that we build something that doesn't just work for us, but that works for everybody.
That's super awesome to hear. It makes me even more confident in the project. I've been confident for a long time, but um, that's awesome to hear. Really appreciate that. Thanks, Zach.
Good questions, Brian. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your comments as well, Zach. So yeah, I think that that's sort of the goals. You know, we want to like Zach said, like we won't put Zach out of business because he'll be working with us. But we definitely want to, any customizations that you guys want to do with your e-commerce store should just have to do with making it easier to convert customers to and convert traffic to customers, and easier to customize the styles, the designs, the look, the feel of your e-commerce site, and everything else will just be taken care of in terms of performance and scalability and all that stuff. It's like, worry about making your business make millions of dollars. Don't worry about how many requests something is making just to to add something to cart or just to load a collection page or something like that. So that's our commitment, and I appreciate everyone's patience and excitement and enthusiasm and feedback. It's been great, and so we'll continue on, and I'm excited. But that's everything for today. I'll leave it open for a couple minutes or so. If anyone has any questions or comments they want to share, I'd love to hear anything.
Hey, Kelly. Yeah, this is Doug. I do have a question, and I apologize if I've missed it. I have not been here for the whole time or the last one. One of the things I'm hoping for in the future, in addition to the builder that you guys are creating, hopefully there's plans for North Commerce blocks to be available that we can implement for simple stores through the native WordPress environment. Are there plans for that, or any discussions on that?
Yeah, that's a great comment. So I think the third or I want to say like the third or fourth conversation me and Zach had was Zach was telling me what he wanted to do with native blocks and Gutenberg and stuff like that, and so we sort of evolved that conversation into like possibly doing something with North. I just got an email that full site editing beta is out for English speaking people, and so I think that there's a lot of opportunity there. So I think our main priority is get the core features done, get our micro builder done, and then kind of let everyone still kind of continue to use the builders that they like, even that if that is just kind of native blocks or anything, like you can just use our shortcode system. But yeah, I think we want to explore the needs of every user and see like how blocks can benefit everyone. And so it's a conversation that we've had. I haven't explored it too much, other than like I think this could be interesting, and it'd be interesting to see where full site editing goes and all that stuff. So we'll just once we get V1 launched, we'll kind of see what direction we go. But yeah, I mean we've talked about it, but nothing is set in stone quite yet.
One of the selfish aspects on I guess it'd be not selfish outside of North, I guess, but for myself, I'm investing in North. I'm going to say for obvious reasons that we're all here. I believe that we will have to have we will have to have blocks, North Commerce blocks, and the ability to implement the system that way in order to stay competitive. Because there's already WooCommerce blocks, everybody's bringing out blocks, and that's independent of full-size editing, because I'm one of the brick users. So right now, I really don't care about full-site editing because I have it anyway. So I implement, your chosen theme, in my case, bricks. But inside of bricks, I'm using blocks. I'm pulling in. Actually, I'm using Cadence Blocks Pro, but I can pull in anything I want. And so if you have a North Commerce block, that allows me to spin up anything in actual minutes. And so that's why I think it's great. So I think from a competitive standpoint, that'll keep North Commerce in the uh, in the limelight.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize that you could do that with bricks. Could you send me a screenshot of that? Maybe like even in just anywhere in the Discord or private message it to me or email it, whatever. I haven't messed with that before, and that's why I'd love to see what that looks like. But yeah, that's interesting.
Sure, I can work that up this weekend for you.
Okay, cool. That'd be wonderful. I'd love to see that. Because that could change some things too in terms of like priority if you're able to like import those into like different builders. Um, cool. Well, that's awesome. I appreciate the comment.
Sure.
So sorry, I've got one more thing to kind of jump in and ask.
Go ahead.
So I feel invested in North, and I'm sure a lot of people in the community feel invested in North. Um, is there anything that we could do to help you out um, with anything regarding North? I know there's kind of a lot of weight on your guys' shoulders, but we all feel very invested on what's going on, and if there's anything we could do to help, that'd be awesome to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. I think definitely in the next 2 weeks or so there will be for sure in terms of like testing and giving clear, good feedback, like basically QA, um, about the plugin so we can fix things as fast as we can. I know like in the original presentation I did for the beta, I kind of talked about taking the suck out of it. Like Pixar has this motto where they want to take the suck out of a story as quick as they can when they're writing different Pixar movies. And so that's kind of what we want to do with North is like, yeah, this feature may be fast and great and awesome, but actually no one is going to use it, and it's kind of funny to have it this way when we could do it a different way. And so we kind of take the suck out of it that way with your guys' feedback and like your guys' QA. Um, but yeah, I mean, depending on what everyone's interested in helping out with, like we could maybe even use some help with like you know, different articles or different tutorials and stuff like that. And so that would be a huge help to the team is to kind of help us figure out what type of training the users would want, beta users, and then creating evergreen content for people who are even going to come 6 months or 8 months from now. And so that would also be helpful. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a up in the air in terms of like whatever someone's willing to help with, and then also kind of like what your skill set is. But I'm always interested to receive more help. Not and I'm grateful for that. So
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. My background is really in like media production and stuff like that. So, if you guys need any help with doing any tutorials or anything like that, I'm more than happy to help out, either using my own site or dev server or whatever to make tutorials or whatever.
okay, yeah,
Love to, because I just love to, get more people onto the platform, because the more people that come onto the platform eventually, the more likely it's to last in the space.
exactly. Well, I appreciate
And
that.
then my investment turns around and becomes something a lot better than you
Exactly.
know.
I love it.
Cool. Well,
Well,
that's all my questions.
perfect. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you so much, Ryan. Okay, well, I'm
No
gonna
worries.
wrap this up. I know it's about we're a little over an hour now, so I don't want to take everyone's time too much time on a Friday. Any last minute questions or anything? I think we're gonna call it.
Yeah, I hope this becomes a regular weekly thing. This is great.
Yeah, so that's the plan. As of right now, I have no issues doing this every Friday around 10 o'clock, um, and the goal is to kind of release these weekly updates. So I hope to be able to show you guys kind of like what's the plan for this particular week, and then show that it's finished the following week, and then push those updates out to production so you guys can update your plugins and test it out. So yeah, well, thank you so much everyone for being
one
here. Oh, go ahead, Doug.
one thought on the time factor. I notice in a lot of the comments of people around the planet about the time factor.
Hmm.
Do you have the ability to vary it to later times during the day or maybe even at evening?
Yeah, I should ask. I should do like we should do like a survey or something in here and kind of figure out what everyone's time zone is, because like I could potentially do it any time, I guess, for the most part. So I think I'll ask in like general or something, and we can see like whatever one time zones is like. Could we get more people in here, getting seeing everything and getting feedback? Because I know there's people from all over the world, so I don't want those people to miss out. We do record them, so these are recorded, but it's nice to be live in there asking questions. So cool. Yeah, I'll do a survey. I think that's a good idea. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate everyone for being here, and I'm excited for what's to come. And we'll talk to you guys this week. Thank you.